Okay, let's get started. So, yesterday we discussed about a basic information or introduction about Ansible. That is, first we discussed about what is Ansible, correct? So, Ansible is a configuration management tool. Instead of we manually doing the configuration activity into the machines, we have a tool known as Ansible. On behalf of us, the configuration management activity will be taken care by this tool known as Ansible. Okay, so what do you mean by configuration? The configuration meaning or configuration management meaning is nothing but you need to make sure once the machine has created, you need to make sure whether software is installed or uninstalled, that is a package is installed or uninstalled, a particular user is existed, a particular user has a specific access, right? Backup to the OS, patches to the operating system, a particular what is that uh, service is running or not. All these things comes under a configuration management activity. Okay, so that is what we are going to do with the help of Ansible. Clear? So then we discussed about why we need Ansible and all these things. Why also it is also covered. Then comes how Ansible will work, or what is the architecture behind Ansible, right? So that is, it is very simple. Just to repeat, whole story, long story short, in 2 minutes, you'll be having a machine, you'll install Ansible control into this machine. Once it is installed, you need to write some kind of a file in YAML language, right? And in this file consists of what are the details, what are the missions it has to connect, and what is our desired state. All those things will be defined under this file, right? And once that is done, and you need to execute some Ansible commands. Once these commands are executed, your Ansible will try to connect to your target missions. Once first it will try to connect. Once it is connected, what it will do? It will try to gather the facts. Once the facts are collected, what it will do? It will compare your gathered facts with the with your desired state. This one. Okay. So if there are any changes or if there are no changes, then it will not make any changes. If there are any changes, then it will make the changes and updates the node state. Okay, so this is how your Ansible will work. I hope everybody is clear. And what is the reason everybody started using Ansible? Why not other tools like Chef and Puppet? Okay, these are just to keep it simple. The reason is Ansible works on a principle of push-based mechanism. It is a agentless. It is easy setup, and you don't need any domain specific language. You don't need any domain specific language. These are the reasons you need no need to use this Chef and Puppet. So because of this, you are using Ansible. Okay. So see, just to tell you, nowadays even the people who are using Ansible, this has also been reduced so much, drastic reduced from past 1 or 2 years. When the Terraform is Terraform's provisioners are introduced. See, if you carefully look at it, your Terraform provisioner is equal to this complete Ansible tool. Okay, that is that is how powerful your Terraform is. Your provisioners are equal to Ansible, right? But still, we need to learn this. This is because in interviews they might focus sometimes. Nowadays, the questions coming from Ansible is reduced, but still some people or some companies expecting this tool to be known. So that is the reason we are learning. And but while learning for the interview, I already told you the priority. The first priority must be given to these tools. First, give the priority to Kubernetes. Second priority must be given to your AWS. Third must be given to your Terraform. Once this is done, then fourth priority must be given to your Docker. Then fifth priority must be given to your Prometheus and Grafana. Sixth, or I'll call it as a here after Terraform, I'll call it as a CI/CD tool, any Jenkins. This is a fifth one. This is sixth one. Sorry. Okay. But your 70% of interviews all on these tools. Most of the interviews will go on these tools, sir. Even if you are missing those tools, these two tools will cover. In some interviews, they'll only focus on Jenkins, nothing else. But that is a rare case. That happens. I'm not telling no. But in most of the cases, in some cases, it happened. Only focus on Jenkins. Okay. But please, please, please go through these three tools first, then complete these two. These are very easy. Docker, Prometheus, Grafana. It's kind of like 7 to 8 days for you to learn. But these tools will take some time. Kubernetes also will take some time. AWS also will take some time. Terraform, not that much time, but it will take some time, right? So first complete these tools. Okay. That is being said. So what we have done yesterday, we have we were setting up our Ansible master mission. Ansible master setup. What is this Ansible master setup? First, we created one mission. Inside this mission, we were installing Ansible, right? So this is what we are doing. So I just need to repeat this step because I accidentally deleted that mission. So again, now I need to create this from the scratch again. What is this? Okay. One second. So let me create one EC2 machine here, launch server. Actually, I wanted to create three machines now. I want. So I'll call first, I'll just give it a name, Ansible server, Ubuntu operating system. See, while running or creating any of the machines, especially Ansible machines, select Ubuntu as your operating system. If you are selecting any Amazon, Red Hat, that is also fine. But what is the advantage here while working with Ubuntu? Your Python will be automatically installed into these machines. You no need to install anything into your Ubuntu operating system. So that is the advantage. Okay. So what is the keep it laptop? Let's come down. How many instances I want? How many number of instances I want? Three numbers. Right. Just click on launch instance. See, Ansible server machines are created. First thing what I'll do, for two of the machines, I'll call it as node 1. This is my slave machine 1 and this is my slave machine 2. Node 2. Oh, node 1. I'm just creating now only. Okay. My node or slave machines are created. My server or master machine, it is created. Now I need to set up this machine, right? So in order to set up, just pick up its public IP and let us connect first. Dash cd x Oh, sorry. Uh, this is search. Add this machine. Done. So just connect to this machine, right? So sudo apt install Ansible. Whether it is there, unable to read the package. It's not there. Okay. So Ansible installation on Ubuntu operating system. Whatever the steps that I showed you yesterday, I'm just repeating the same steps here. Sudo apt update. Why command not fine. Okay, okay, that is done. Python 3 hyphen version. See, we didn't install Python into our Ubuntu machine. The Python is already installed into this Ubuntu machine. So that is the reason you no need to install. If you are creating any other kind of flavors of Linux, Amazon Linux or Red Hat or CentOS, then by default Python will not be installed into those machines. You need to manually install that. Just execute if you wanted to create sudo apt install Python 3. Just execute this command and it will be installed. See, it is already installed. So that is the reason it is not getting installed. Done. So that is the first one. And I just need to set up this machine. Sudo apt properties common. Done. Sudo add repository. Adding a repository. Done. Last step. Sudo apt install Ansible. Meanwhile, not required. First, let us complete this. It is taking some. Okay, it is installed now. Ansible version. Okay, so it is installed now. Now my master machine setup is done. That is, my master machine is, this is my master machine. I'm installing Ansible into this machine. This is done. Then I need to set up my slave machines. What are the dependencies into my slave machines? These two machines. I just need to install Python into these machines. Preferably install same version of Python in all of these three machines. Okay, so that is recommended. Use Ansible like B, we don't give versions. So see, if we use Ansible version V here, 1 second, Ansible V. Sometimes what happens, it is giving you all the details related to your Ansible, whatever the things which are associated with. But what is this? Here V stands for something called as, 1 second, I'll show you. Here V is known as verbose mode. So what is this verbose mode? You'll come to know in the upcoming sessions. Just this is a kind of error handling mechanism here in Ansible. So that is the reason it is not displaying you. You need to enter this complete sentence. Okay. So now we have successfully created a master machine and installed Ansible. We have created slave machines, right? And we have installed preferably same version of Python into all these machines. That is done. So now how we usually connect to any of the machine. Let's say this is my machine. How we usually connect to this machine? That as, even instead of this, let's say this is my laptop. This is my physical laptop where I'm sharing my screen to all of you, right? And this is where my server is created. This is my AWS uh, cloud, and this is where my one of the computer or one of the server is created. Now, if I want to connect from my computer to this EC2 instance which is created in AWS, how will you do it, sir? You will write SSH -I, your PEM key, this is password key, then your username, and at the IP address. Correct? So, by executing this command, you are trying to connect to the remote machine which is available in the cloud. Right? This is what you are trying to do. Now, see, this is who are doing here. We as a people, we as a manually people are doing it. Now, instead of we doing it from now onwards, who should do it? That is going forward. Who should do this? Doing SSH. Who should do this? This has to be done by your Ansible master machine. So first, if there are machines available here, okay, these are my machines, two machines available. If I wanted to configure something here, if I wanted to install, uninstall, copy, paste, execute some command, anything, first what your Ansible master machine should do, first it should connect to this machine, right? Correct? It should connect to this machine using SSH or WinRM protocols. It should connect to these machines. Then only you can do some activities into those machines, right? So now if anybody or anything needs to connect from one computer to other computer, what are the things we need? First thing is we need a PEM file, correct? Whatever the PEM file which is used for the creation of these two machines. Second is we need a username, Username, what is the username? It might be Ubuntu or it might be EC2, correct? Or it might be CentOS. That is the username. And what is the IP address of that machine in order to connect from this machine to this machine. So these details where we need to provide these details inside your master machine or inside your Ansible controller machine. So whenever you execute some Ansible command, then what it will do? It will make use of these details and it will try to connect to those machines using SSH or WinRM, whatever the protocol you provided. Okay, this is how it is going to connect to your slave machines. But now the question is, yeah, I told you like we need a PEM key, we need a username, and we need a what is that IP address. But we need these things. But where you need these things? You need these things in a Ansible controller machine. You need to store these machines, or you need to provide these values for Ansible controller in order to connect to your slave machines. But where you are going to store this? Inside Ansible controller only you need to store. What is the path under which you are going to store these things? See, if you go to this path /etc/Ansible, if you go to this path, you can able to see two files under this. One file is known as Ansible.cfg, and what is the other file is known as host. These are the two files. If you can go to this path, you can able to see these two files. Let me show you that. I'll just delete this. See, first switch to sudo su cd/etc/Ansible. I'm moving to this folder. Just do ls, and you can able to see two files here. One is Ansible.cfg and other one is host file. Okay. See here, please be very attentive. I want you to understand what are these files. See, we are setting up our master machine and slave machine. First, we installed Ansible master into these machines. Then we installed or we created two slave machines. Now you need to establish a connection between your master machine and a slave machine. So in order to establish a connection between your master machine and slave machines, what do you need to provide? You need to provide your username, password, and your what is that PEM key, something like that. You need to provide these details, right? Where you're going to provide? You're going to provide under a file known as /etc Ansible. There are two files. This is the story we discussed till now. Now going forward, first let me explain what is this Ansible.cfg. Ansible.cfg. What is this Ansible.cfg? See, please be very careful. This is kind of a complete theory part here. This you cannot do it practically, but you should know the importance of this file. That is my agenda here. See, you are going to execute some commands, Ansible -playbook, something like this. You're going to execute some commands. Okay. See, whenever, for each and every time, whenever you execute this command, for how many hour of times you want, what is the first thing that Ansible will do? The Ansible will first come to this file, the same Ansible.cfg. Whenever, how many ever times you execute any commands in Ansible, the first thing Ansible will come to the place is Ansible.cfg file, and this is the file which is used by for each and every execution. For each and every execution, your Ansible is using this file for execution. And based on this file, Based on this file, it actually calls the other files. Based on this file, it actually calls the other files. These are the two important points I want you to remember. What is the first point? See, this practical thing will do some commands. Whenever you execute any command in Ansible, what Ansible controller machine will do for each and every execution, it will make use of a file known as Ansible.cfg. So that is the first thing. For each and every execution, it will make use of this file. And what is the second point? Based on this file's execution, based on this file, it will call other files. It will call other files. These are the 2 points you need to remember. Okay. So that is what is Ansible.cfg now. Your Ansible will make use of this file for each and every execution, and Ansible will call this file, and this file will call the other files. That is the meaning here, right? Sir, any doubts till here before I move to the next things? If there are no doubts, okay. See, now, if you just open this file, vi Ansible, okay, vi Ansible.cfg. You just open this file, see, there is nothing here. There is no content available, right? See, in earlier versions of Ansible, there used to be some content here. Now they disabled this. Okay. So now what you need to do? You need to come to your Google, just search for Ansible.cfg and GitHub. Just search for Ansible.cfg GitHub. Just enter and come to this one. Some name is there, right? You can use any of the configuration file here. Just come to this one. This is the good format. ALEVX or something, some name here is there, right? Just come to that default Ansible configuration file. Just click on that. Select each and everything from here. Raw, Control A, Control C. Just copy this file, come back, and here I'll delete everything and I'll copy paste here. That's it. Okay. Just copy paste the entire thing from your this GitHub page to your Ansible.cfg page. This is the first activity you need to do. Once this is done, what is the second activity you need to do? Okay. See, where is this? Once you copy pasted this content into this file, I want you to enable two things here. One is this inventory. See here, as in the sense it is a commented file. So I just need to uncomment. How to uncomment? Just remove this ash. First, I want you to enable two things. First is inventory file, and if you just come down, this one, remote user is equal to root, and just enable this. Okay, two things you need to enable. One is remote user and other one is your inventory file. Okay, then just escape WQ : save this file. That is done. Now we need to store our username. Now we need to store. First file is done, sir, Ansible.cfg. For each and every execution, it will use that file, and based on this file's execution, it actually calls the other files. That is the first one. How it will calls the other files, I'll explain in some time. Right? First, Ansible.cfg file is ready. How to prepare this file? If you go open this file, there will be no content. Then go to GitHub, copy this, come back, paste here. Two things you need to enable. One is inventory, another one is remote user. You need to enable these two things. This is done. Now, what is the second thing you need to do? Second thing, see, whenever if you wanted to connect from your master machine to your slave machine, then as you already know, you need username, password, all these things, correct? IP address, everything. So we need to provide these details to your Ansible controller machine in order to connect to these slave machines. That you already know. But where you are going to provide, see, there is a file known as host file here. If you see just below, just beside your Ansible.cfg, we have a file known as host file. You just need to copy paste these details into this host file. That's it. Okay. So let us do that activity. Where is this? So just a second here. I'll just open on Notepad before I do it here. See, first, what do you just need to do, sir? What is the syntax for this? What is the rule here? First, you need to provide machine name. Whatever the machine name you wanted to provide, just provide that. It's based on your wish. And what is the next thing? The next thing here is you need to provide the IP address of this machine. Okay. Preferably, I'll suggest to use private IP of this node machines. Why? If you use public IP into this machine, then if you stop and start your EC2 instance, then every time you need to come here and change that IP address. But if you use private IP address, then what happens? It remains same. So you no need to come here again and again and need to change these values. So I suggest to use private IP. Private IP is done. Then you need to provide who is the user, Ubuntu or EC2 user, and what is the private key. What is the PEM key it needs to use while logging into that remote machine. These details you need to provide. So actually how to provide? Let's call it as, I'll call this machine as just node 1. Okay. Now I need to provide my IP address, right? So for providing IP address, we need to write this Ansible underscore host. Ansible underscore host is equal to your private IP address. Where is this? Just come back here. See, here is my node 1 actions, view details, and this is my private. Just copy this, come back and paste here. This is my one machine's IP address. And what is the user I need to use? Before directly you cannot provide, you should provide Ansible hyphen user. Ansible, underscore user. What is the user? Ubuntu. Right? Then I need to provide my PEM file. How to provide? Ansible underscore SSH underscore private underscore key underscore file. 1 second. I just want to minimize this. See, first we have provided Ansible host using private IP. Then we have provided user. Then we should provide your what is that? Private key, PEM key file is equal to, you need to copy paste your PEM key, whatever the PEM key you use for the creating this EC2 instance. Which PEM key we use? Where is this? Where is this? Where is this PEM key? PEM key, PEM key. Visible host used by, see, laptop is the PEM key that we use, same key. So we need to copy paste that under some folder, wherever the path you want. You need to provide that path here. I'll call it as /etc/Ansible. I need to copy paste this, but still I'm providing here /etc/Ansible laptop.pem. This is the file is available under this file, right? So now what I'll do, I'll just come back. Whether my PEM file is available in under this folder /etc/Ansible, it is not available. Now what I need to do, I need to create my PEM file. How to create? Just open your PEM file first. There is this git bash, or you can also do in this way. Instead, if you don't want it to do it, why it is not working? Okay. See, just go to your PEM file, right click, open with notepad, Control A, Control C, come back here, just vi laptop.pem. That's it. Done. Insert, paste it here. Done. Save this. Okay. Now let's see. Under your host machine, we have providing all these details. Still, I did not provide it, but I'll provide these details. These details, whatever the machine is, has to connect. And while connecting to that machine, what is the private IP address of that machine, and what is the PEM key it has to use. All those details I'm providing. Done. Just copy this. Control C. Open your VI host file, VI host, and here you can paste it anywhere you want. Just insert. I'll paste it here. Okay. Just paste this and escape W. Save this. Done. See, now we have successfully provided the details. We have copy pasted our PEM file into this machine. Okay. So what is the last thing you just need to do? You just need to change the permission of this laptop.pem key. How to change this? Just chmod 600 and laptop.pem. Okay. Laptop.pem. Just change the permission of that file. Just click on enter and this is done. Now, just to see whether my master machine is capable of connecting to my slave machine, just execute this Ansible. Ansible, to which machine you wanted to connect now? I wanted to connect to node 1. If you remember, that is the name I provided, right? Node 1, see here. This is the name. I'm just using this name, machine name here. We also call it as alias name or machine name. Whenever you try to connect, you can refer this name. See, yesterday we have facing some issue, right? Well, checking the connectivity between your client machine and the server machines. Okay, so it is just a small silly mistake. We spent almost half an hour for that. What is that error? See, if you just go to this path, cd/etc/Ansible, this is the path, right? So just I'll switch it to sudo user, sudo su ls. Here we have two files. One is Ansible.cfg file and the other one is host file, right? If you just go to vi host, and here this is the details we added. What is the problem I have done? What I have done is I've added one extra space here. That is the only thing I've done, sir. Here at this part is equal to /etc is there, right? I have just added one extra space. That's it. That nothing. Just save this, and again, if you see Ansible, what is the name? Node 1 -m and ping. See the same issue. This is the thing that we have done yesterday. If you just go to Ansible host and just remove this space, and you can now be able to where is this? Node -m ping. So whenever you execute this command, okay, again I'll explain from the basic, no worries. Whenever you execute this command, the response must be success, and the response is ping pong. It is just small command. It let us know that it is successfully doing SSH from your Ansible controller machine to your Ansible slave machines or to your Ansible node machines. That is the meaning here. Okay, so just now come back. See, yesterday we, just to repeat whatever the things, I'll combine whatever the video, yesterday's videos and today video, detailed video, yesterday's middle detailed video. And just to repeat, see, first part is master node setup, right? Master setup. So in master node setup, what are the things you need to do? The first thing is you need to install Python into this machine, correct? Wait, it is not writing. Okay. First, you need to install Python into this machine. Then you need to install Ansible controller into this machine. Then comes your slave machine, right? In slave machines, what are the things you need to install? You just need to install Python 3 into this machine. Preferably same version of Python in both the master and slave machines. That is the only requirement. Okay, this you already know how to install a Ansible. Now let us assume this is my master machine and these are my slave machine, right? So now if you are doing, let us imagine this is not a computer now. This part I'll remove. Let us assume this is a one person, any one person who is doing SSH, or if he tries to connect to this machine. Now I wanted to connect to this machine. How you can connect? See, you need to do SSH from your laptop. You will be using some laptop. From this machine, you will do SSH-I, your PEM key. You need to use PEM key. You need to provide a username and a IP address of this machine in order to log in. Same for this machine. What if there are thousands of machines? For each and every machine, you need to manually log into these machines. So now we already know, in order to solve this configuration management issues manually, now we have a tool. Now we have a tool called as Ansible, right? So this is where your Ansible comes into picture. So instead of we doing the login to this machines manually and configure these machines, now what we are doing, we have a tool known as Ansible, which will do the login or which will do the SSH to these machines and which will configure the machines. That is the point here. But how it will configure, that is the point. See, first, if these are my machines, now I need to establish a connection between these machines, from my master machine to my slave machines. Then, what are the things my Ansible controller is needed? Okay, those things, it requires a username, it requires a PEM key, and it requires a IP address of this machine, public or private IP address of this machine. Only if I know these details, then I can able to log into this machine. It might be any person or it might be any automation tool, right? So we need to provide these details, or we need to keep these details under your Ansible controller machine. That is the next step here in order to establish a connection between these two machines. Okay. Now, how to do it? If you ask me, see, under your master machine, I'm just removing this. Under your master machine, if you go to this path /etc/Ansible, if you go to this path, there are two things available. What are those two things? First one is a file known as Ansible.cfg file. The second file known as host file. There are two files. So first, what is this Ansible.cfg file? See, this is a very important file. Why this is very important file? Whenever your Ansible executes, any commands, or it performs any operations in this machine, the first thing it will do is it will come to this path /et/etc Ansible, and it will read this file for each and every execution. That is how it will work. Whenever you perform any operation, right, first thing your Ansible will do is it will come to this place. Only if based on the configurations available in this file, it will call the other files, other subsequent files from this file. Okay, so this is the very important file. What you just need to do here, you just need to enable certain things. What are those things? I'll tell you now. This is the first file. Then what is the second file? The second file is your host file. What is this host file? As you know, host, or we also call it as a inventory file. Okay, what is this file? This file consists of list of machine details, which has to connect, which is connecting. Those details are defined under this file. Okay, so host file or inventory file is the file where you are going to place all your, what is the public IP of this machine, what is the private IP, what is the private IP of this machine, what is the PEM key it needs to use when it tries to log into that machine. Correct? So all these details you're going to place under this file. Okay, so now let us see this. So if you go to this VI, if you just do ls, here you can able to see two files. One is Ansible.cfg file and other one is host file. First, in Ansible.cfg file, just go to this file, VI Ansible.cfg file. Okay, see here, you no need to do nothing here. You just need to do enable two things here. One is it will be commented like this. Okay, sorry. It will be commented like this. I'll just show you that also. Just give me a second. Ansible.cfg. It will be commented just like this. So I also told you from where you need to copy this content. In earlier versions of Ansible, it was by default available in this file. But now in newer versions of your Ansible file, by default, it was not available. So what do you need to do? You just need to come to your Google, just search for Ansible.cfg GitHub. Okay, just go to this this whatever the name, WP Curry or someone. Just go to this file. Okay, just come here. Okay, don't copy this file. I saw another file. I'll leave it. So this one. copy this file. Almost same content, no nothing much difference, but it is good. It's clear one. Just come here, just click on draw, Control A, copy, paste into this file. That's it. Nothing you're going to do. Once it is copy pasted here, just remove this hash from this one, from this line, and just come down, and you need to enable one more thing, remote user. Just remove hash from remote user as well. That's it. Then just save this. Then WQ done. Okay, this is the thing that you're going to do with respect to Ansible.cfg file. Then you need to add an entry into this machine, correct? That is, you need to provide details of those machines into which file? Under host file. So just click on VI host and see how to provide these details. Let me write it down. Where is this? Yesterday we already wrote now. Okay. Just I just kept somewhere here. See, first you need to provide the machine name, whatever the name that you want. It is necessarily not be this name, whatever we are providing here, right? Node 1, Node 2, Node 1, Node 2, Terraform server, Ansible. This is not a mandatory one. You can provide based on any name, this name. Okay. Then your public IP address. Then your user. What is the user it has to use while doing a login to this machine? And what is the PEM key you need to use while logging into this machine? How will you do it? See, just provide a node 1 name. Okay, just remove this node 1. Then you need to use Ansible host keyword is equal to your private IP address. Then Ansible user is equal to what is the user I need to use? Ubuntu is my username. And what is the PEM key I need to use? The path to that PEM key, where it has stored. You can store this file wherever you want and just provide the path here. I am just storing this PEM file under /etc ansible laptop.pem, and I'm just providing that path here. That's it. Okay. So, and please make sure to remove extra spaces. That is the reason why I struggled almost an half an hour yesterday. Like, even I was also don't know, like I added some extra space here. Okay. So don't do those mistakes. I searched Google, ChatGPT everywhere, but I didn't understood what is wrong here. Then I came to know this is the error, just a mistake. Okay. So don't do these mistakes. Sir, a private IP is which one? Is it for Ansible server? No. See, private IP of your slave machines. Slave machine, whichever the machine you wanted to connect, right? These things. Node 1, nodes, slave machines, these machines, private IP address, not a Ansible servers. That also we'll see why we need to take that. That I'll see. Okay. See, now this is one of the machine we have in our out of 2 servers. Let's say if you assume that what are the different environments you know till now? You know, dev is a one environment in an organization, test is another environment, testing environment. Then pre-prod is another environment. Then comes your production. In some cases, we also call it as RFS environments, ready for service. These environments, or in some cases, different environments. It depends on company. Development environment, test environment, RFS environment. Then comes your before RFS, we have something called as UAT environment, then RFS, then pre-prod. Okay. In one of the organization I worked, there we had new kind of environment. That was the first time I heard. That is dress rehearsal. Dress rehearsal environment. This is kind of, even I too don't know why they were using this. I was also not sure, but this is the one environment name they have kept. Okay. Then comes your production environment. These are the different environments you'll be having. So once the application development happens in development environment, then for testing purpose, whether, see, it is very simple process, sir, from transitioning from dev environment to test environment. First, developer will write a code here. Okay. Once the code is ready, then it will be moved. The same code will move to test environments. Test environment in the sense, dev environment in the sense, dev environment is nothing but group of servers. That's it. Group of servers. They'll implement their code here. Once that is done, they'll move this code from testing environment, from testing, sorry, dev server to your testing server. That's it. Why they need to move? See, if you are constructing your house, you started constructing, right? So every day at 5 p.m. or 6 p.m., one engineer will come. You remember? You'll pay some monthly salary to him. He will come and he'll see, inspect entire building, whether everything is working fine, everything is on to the plan, something like that. Correct? Same thing apply here. Testing engineer. What is the thing they are going to do? Whether the functionality or the part of your application, functionality your application is working fine or not, or if there are any errors in the code, the quality of the code. All these things are done by testing engineers. Correct? So once the testing engineer certifies this code is done, then it will be moved to your UAT environments, user acceptance testing. That means user servers or UAT servers, UAT computer or UAT machine. The same code will be moved to UAT machine. So what they are doing, they are trying to replicate, see, before production in the sense live customers, where if it is a banking application, you and me are using this application. We are connecting. Let's assume this is a phone pay application. You and me are connecting to this production environment. But before production environment, these are the thing happens in the background. In UAT environment, they'll try to replicate the real users. There are some specified users. Okay, user acceptance testing. There are some business users. They'll try in different ways. If you work in different day, what happens to this machine? They're trying to add some, what is that, stress onto this machine. What happens if 10,000 customers access this application at the same time, whether it is going to crash? Okay, these kind of things they'll do before releasing it onto the market. So this is the environment details. Now, if you see, dev is a environment, dev environment. Here, are we going to have only one server? Is it possible? No, right? You'll be having a group of servers. You'll be having group of servers, hundreds of thousands of servers. Correct? Now, if you wanted to do some configuration activity into this machine, then again you need to log into this machines. You need to remember each and every IP address, everything. Right? Then again you need to, if you are doing it automatically using Ansible, again you need to define all these things. Correct? So instead of, you need to define all these things, but instead of remembering all these names, what you can do is, we can create something called as a group. I'll call this group as a development group. Under this group, I'll place all these IP addresses or these machines. That is my node 1. Node 1 details are Ansible host. This is my IP address. This is my PEM key. Node 2. This is my IP. And just like that, I'll place all these machines under this group. So instead of remembering all these names, now you can directly use this group name. Okay, that is the advantage of creating a group. You can create as many groups as you want. Okay, so let us see how to create a group here. See, it is very simple. Just define, just write a square bracket, dev, and close the square bracket. And under this, just define whatever the names you have. Control C, same server. This is the one server. And what is the other server details? I'll call it as, just copy paste node 1. I'll call it as node 2. What is the 245? Yeah. I think this is yesterday's private IP. I need to change this. Wait. I've deleted those missions by mistakenly due to habit. So that's why. So node 1 private IP is 113. This is 1. Control V. And other details are same. And node 2. Node 2 is this one. This is my node 2 detail. Control V. Okay, that's it. Now, this is the another way of defining a service. That is what I'm doing. I'm grouping the servers based on its environment. Okay, and whenever you execute, you can just use this name for configuring into these set of machines. This is the another one. And you can also create another group known as local group. What is this local group? See, now if this is my Ansible machine and this is where I'm trying to connect into these machines. So now what I've done, based on the environment, I'm grouping these machines. Correct? So this environment, okay, these are the machines belongs to this environment. Test environment, okay, these are the TSD. These are the machines which are belong to test environment. I'm grouping it. And you can also group your master machine, that is a local machine where your Ansible is installed. If you wanted to do some configuration activity into that machine itself, where you installed Ansible, right? Even if you wanted to do some configuration activity into that Ansible machine, that also you can do. So for doing that, what you can do, you can just define a name, node 3 or something. You can call it any name, sir. I'll call it as master. Master, and just the same thing. What is, just change this private IP address. See, instances, Ansible master machine, Ansible server. Where is this? Just delete this. Okay, view details, private IP address. Just come back. Done. Okay, now everything is ready. Now what I'll do, I'll just copy paste these things into my see, again I've done the same thing here. Again I'm adding extra space. Okay, here it is sorted. Yes, yes. Okay, also just copy paste the same thing into your Ansible.cfg file. Control C, copy. Okay, here already some data is available. Just whether it is the same thing, I don't know. Might be. Okay, just paste. Same, 46. 46 my is second mission. Okay, okay. I'm just removing this mission. Everything is correct. I just don't wanted to take a risk again. Okay. I'll just delete this first machine. See, now here we have three details. See, just repeatedly I'm using. If you wanted to create more missions and add the details here, you can do it. I just created two missions here. So this is the single mission. This is how you can define the single mission. This is how you can group the missions under a single group using square brackets. And this is how you can do the configuration activity to your local mission. Okay, just done. Now we all ready to do the configuration activity into this machine. Okay. So now just execute this command, Ansible. What is this command? You will come to know in in 5 minutes. Ansible to which group I wanted to connect? I wanted to connect to dev group. Right? That is the name that we defined under Ansible.cfg file, and just write down -m ping. Okay. See, if you're getting this response, ping pong success, then your Ansible mission has successfully connected to your node missions or slave missions. Then it is doing or pinging those missions. Okay. Just to repeat, your architecture, just a advanced version of your architecture. And you also need to copy paste your PEM file, sir. Please don't forget this. How to copy paste? Just close this. I'll show you. Just go where you have stored your PEM file. This is where my PEM file is there. Right click, open Notepad, Control A, Control C. Just come back to your server. And here you just need to create vi laptop.pem vi some whatever the name, I'll call it as temp.pem. Okay, just click on enter and just copy paste the content here. That's it. Then save. Right, I am not going to save as I already have this here. Okay, see, here I already have my PEM key. That's it. Once the PEM key is created, try to change its permission, chmod 600, then your laptop key, whatever the name you have provided, right? Just execute this command. You can try to change the permission. Okay, so these are the things you just need to do. Now, just a second. Okay, so any doubt till here? No doubts. Okay, see now how your Ansible will work. We know that, see, if you execute any command first, here inside one of the machine, you are going to install Ansible controller or Ansible master into this machine. Under this machine, what are the configuration things you need to do? You need to do the two things. One is you just need to go to your Ansible.cfg file and enable two things. One is your inventory file details and other one is root user. Then under your host file, you need to have or you need to add the details of the machines which you are trying to connect using the way that I showed you, different ways. Okay, now let us assume these are the machines. So whenever you try to execute some Ansible command, now we executed a ping command from my Ansible master machine. Then what your Ansible machine will do or Ansible controller will do, the first thing it will do, it will come to your Ansible.cfg file. Okay, now from here, see, this is the file, Ansible.cfg file. Now here we enabled two things. One is what is the path to other file, where that path is host file. where this file is located. So for each and every execution, it will come to Ansible.cfg file. Then from this file, it is trying to call the other files. Here we enabled inventory file, if you remember, right? From this file, it is calling other files. And from this host file, it is trying to read all the details that we defined, or all the details of the machine which is trying to connect. Once it gets the details, it will do the SSH into this machines. Once it connect to this machine, what is the first thing it will do? It will gather the facts related to that machine. What is the existing configuration under this machine? Okay, so it will read all the data from this slave machines, and it will compare with the whatever the file you are doing, whatever the file you are writing, and if there are any changes to that machine, then it will do the changes and it will updates the node state. Okay, so this is how it will work. But here two things, Ansible.cfg and host file under /etc Ansible, three things done. So this is how your Ansible will work. Now we all set to start working on Ansible. Setting up everything is done, right? See, in Ansible, if you wanted to perform some operation, if you wanted to perform some configuration activities or configurative operations using Ansible, then you can do this in two ways. One, we call it as ad hoc way of configuring the machines. The second way, we call it as a playbook way. These are the two ways we have. So first, let us discuss ad hoc way. See, if you learn this ad hoc way, it's very simple. If you learn this ad hoc way, playbook ways even get simpler for you. Okay, so now let us start with ad hoc way. What is this ad hoc way? Ad hoc. See, there is a machine. These are the slave machines. Now this is my master machine. Now I wanted to do some activity. What activity? See, I wanted to do some configuration activity. Okay, this is, if this activity is very simple, it's a very simple, easy one. Okay, and it is not repetitive, spelling might be wrong. Simple, easy, which is not repetitive, and you are doing this configuration activity only for one time. You're performing this activity only one time. Then in Ansible, you can go with ad hoc way of configuring the machines. So when to use ad hoc way? If the task that you are performing, which is simple, easy, first point, which is not repetitive in nature, and the third point is the activity is only one time, which is not repetitive. In these scenarios, you're going to use some ad hoc way of configuring the machines. Okay, so if you understood what is ad hoc way, then how to write a commands for your ad hoc way? See, first, in ad hoc way, your command starts with Ansible. This is the keyword it is going to start. Then what are the machine details that you are trying to do the configurations? Here under, you need to provide the machine details. How you are going to provide? You can provide the direct name, node 1. This is the name that we defined under your host file, or you can also provide the group name, dev group name, or you can also provide a local group name here, or you can also provide write down as all. That means you can, if you wanted to do the configuration activity only for the one machine, just provide that name. The same name which is defined under host file, if you remember, that name you should provide here. Okay. So the next one is the group of missions, which we combined multiple missions into one group. That name also you can provide. What your Ansible will do, whatever the group of missions which are available in dev group, it will try to connect and it will do the same activity into those missions. Okay. The next one is local. Local in the sense where it will connect to same Ansible master machine and it will perform whatever the activity we want. Or if you wanted to do this for all of these things, for each and every machine in your host file, then just write down as all. Then your Ansible will connect to all of these machines and will do the configuration activity. This is the second step. Now let me remove this. Okay. All. Then comes, this might get little confusion for you, but only for 5 minutes you will be confused. Just follow along with me. Just you just need to write down -m. Then comes your module name. Don't ask me what is this. You will come to know within 5 or 10 minutes. It's very easy. Okay. First, it should start with Ansible. Then to which machines you wanted to connect. Then what is the module name you wanted to use. And comes your last one as arbitrary values. -a. -a in the sense arbitrary values. Arbitrary values of this module. Okay. So this is the pattern that you are going to follow. If you see Ansible, to which machines I wanted to connect? I wanted to connect to dev machines. And what is the module that I wanted to use? I wanted to use ping module here. I'm just pinging it. If you just execute the same command here in ODAC way, Ansible, to which group I wanted to connect this time? I wanted to connect to dev group -m. My module name is -m stands for module. Then comes your module name. Okay. Just click on enter and it should be connected to those machines. Here now, if I wanted to connect to only to node 1 machine, Ansible, I think node 1, capital letters I defined, node 1 -m and just ping only to that machine, only one machine I am defining, right? See, just see, it is now, it is connecting only to that machine. Ansible, what are the host details? -m, then your module name, whatever the module that you wanted to provide. Fine, this is the first command. If I do the same activity, Ansible, then comes then I'll use local. What do you mean by local? It will connect to your master machine itself and it will run those commands. -m and ping. Just doing the small activity here. Okay. If you're connecting for the first time, it will ask for a fingerprint. That is yes or no. I'll write it as yes. Okay. See, it has connected successfully to the master machine itself. Right. So, what are arbitrary values? Yes, sir, you will come to know. This is the first command that we are executing, right? Just give me some 5 to 10 minutes, you will come to know. Okay. Now, Ansible, I wanted to connect to all the machines. This all -m ping. Whatever the machines which are available inside my uh, host file or inventory file, it will connect to all of those machines. That is the next one. Okay. So now comes your real part, real commands. Okay. Now, see, now the second thing that we are going to discuss is, now I'll just log into these missions, whichever the slave missions we have, just to show you. I'll log into both of these missions. Can I connect to missions? Connect. No. This is my node 2. This is my node 1. Okay, this is my node 1 and this is my node 2. See, now let us see, whenever it is a practical thing, whenever you try to install some package or install some software into this machine, this Linux machine, how will you do it, sir? You just need to execute the package manager name, apt install, then comes your package name. What is the package name? I'll call it as Apache 2. This is the package name, and -y. -y, it's optional. Just click on enter. Now, why it is not getting installed? See, here if you see, permission denied. That is, are you a root user? So, before installing anything, sudo su. You need to switch it to root user, then just execute the same command. Sudo apt install and your package name. I'll this time git. Okay. Now I'm just trying to install some git into this machine. Now it has been installed. The same activity now I wanted to do with the help of Ansible, with the help of Ansible ad-hoc commands. Okay. So now how to do that? See, you just need to start with Ansible, right? And what are the missions you wanted to connect? I wanted to connect to dev group. Then what is the module I wanted to use? I wanted to use apt module. This is the module name. Okay, we'll list down whatever the modules available. Just to start with, I'm starting with first module was ping module. Second module was apt module. Okay, apt. Then what are the arbitrary values? Now we'll see, sir. -a is equal to, what is the name of the package you are defining, sir? You are defining git. And state of that, this one. What is the state? State is nothing but present into that. I want this package to be present into these machines. That is the meaning. See, Ansible connect to this group, use the apt module, and while using the apt module, what is the package I wanted to install? I wanted to install git package. And what is the state of that? State in the sense we have three values. One is present, second one is one second. One is present, present. Second one is absent. Absent meaning you remove or uninstall that application from that. Or you can provide the latest. If you provide latest, what happens? It will try to pick a latest version of that application. Right? So this is how you can start with. Now just execute this command and let us see. I know it won't work. Why? Any reason here? If you just carefully go through this, if you come here, see, when I was a normal user, whenever you install an application, you must switch to sudo user, correct? What was the error? Permission denied. Are you a root? Same error here. See, if you just read somewhere here, permission denied. Okay, same error. So what do you just need to do? You need to switch from normal user to sudo user. Okay, so how to do that? You just need to, along with the same command, you just need to add one more flag known as -b. -b stands for become sudo user. Now we are executing these commands using normal user, Ubuntu user. If you wanted to become a sudo user, -b is the option that you need to use. Okay, just execute this now. Now see, node 1 status is updated. Okay, so now if you just go back to this machine, in this machine it is already installed. See, node 1, it is doing nothing because cache updated false. See, changed false. Whether once the machine has been configured, I told you, right? It will change its node state. Changed is equal to false. That means the Git is already available into that machine. So why to install it again? So it is not changing it. But in second machine, it is changed state. That is, it will install the package into that machine and it will change its state. Changed is equal to true. If you see here, changed is equal to false. Here in second machine, it has installed. So let us see whether it is installed successfully or not. Just execute git -b. Oh, I lost my network. Just give me a second. Yeah. Hello, guys, can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you hear me, right? Yeah, okay. Any lag
Yeah.
in the voice? Hello?
No, sir. It's clear.
Okay. So, Nagarjun, what do you mean by state values? Can you please repeat? I didn't get your question. State values again. Please tell me state values. What is the state value? I never mentioned this word here.
Sir, I have one more doubt. Apt -a you have used, right? I mean, there. Can I know what is the meaning of A? Because M for model we are
Yeah,
using.
A in the sense attribute values.
Okay.
Okay, see now if you're trying to execute the same thing, just replicate this thing here, sir. If you're trying to install some application into or some why it is not working? It has gone back. Huh? Okay, it is logged out. Okay, 1 second, sir. Sudo su. See now, if I try to install some application into my machine, sudo apt install, then you need to provide the application name, correct? Git or Apache 2. This is my application name. Then it is going to install. Same thing I'm trying to replicate using Ansible. How I'm doing it? Just see. This is gone. cd/etc/Ansible. Now I think I'll get it. There. So Ansible. First, I'll start with the Ansible. Then I wanted to become a sudo user. Then I need to connect to dev group. Then I wanted to become a sudo user. Then what is the module I wanted to use? -m apt is the module I wanted to use. Then what is the arbitrary values or attribute values or arbitrary values? Both are same. Then what is the package name that I wanted to install? I wanted to install the package name as Git. And now what is the state of that? Whether you wanted to delete that or whether you wanted to install that or you wanted to install the latest version of that application. Those details. Now I'll call it as absent from both the machines. Okay. So now just see what happens. See, reading database, everything is done. See, in both the missions, it has changed its state. It has connected to the first mission and it has deleted that. And it has also connected to the second mission and it is also deleting that package from this mission. If you just come back and see in this mission, git-v, why connection? One second. Git-v. See, it has gone. If I just execute the same thing, okay, if I just change this command, state is equal to present, then what it will do, it will install the same application in both of the missions. Just execute the same thing here. See, now it is installed. Okay, so slowly you will come to know this. It will take some like 1 day, that's it, not maximum time. Okay, so how can we install for a specific node? See, just a name. Here I provided, right? Now let's say, let me delete from both the machines. Let me delete it from both the machines. Okay, now it has been deleted. Same command. What are the missions? See, what is the meaning of this command? You need to start with Ansible, right? Then you're providing what is the mission you wanted to connect. Here we have 3 values or 4 values. First is whatever the mission you wanted to connect, individual mission, right? I'll call it as a node 1 is my mission. Or whatever the group you wanted to connect, you can also provide that name, or whatever the local value you have defined, master mission you defined, that value, or all this value. So now, based on your question, I wanted to connect to only one, this one, node 1. This is the mission that I defined under host file. Just execute. See, it has, it's already, it was not that, so it has change is equal to false. Okay, this is how you just need to change the value here. Whatever the name that you use, vi host, name that you use here, node 1 dev, and comes your local. This name you need to just provide while executing the command. That's it. Okay, so now, please tell me, state values, I didn't get it. What is, how install Git in both machines? Yes, it is going to install Git in both the machines. So that is the one module. Next is, I wanted to, let us assume I wanted to install Apache 2 web server into these machines, both of the machines. Now tell me the command or ad hoc way of doing it. See, it is very simple task, single task, and which is not repetitive in nature, correct? So that is why we are using Ansible ad hoc commands. See, if you just write down 2 or 3 commands, you will come to know, that's it. Nothing difficult here. First, you need to start with Ansible. Then, what is the group I wanted to connect? This time I wanted to connect it to dev group. Then, what is the, I wanted to become a sudo user. Then, what is the module I wanted to use? I wanted to use apt module. Then, arbitrary values, -a. What is the name of the package? Name of the package is Apache 2. What is the state of this package? State is equal to present. That's it. Then done. Okay. Wait. See, it has installed. Yes, that's it, Nagarjun. You got it, right? So now it has been successfully installed into this machines. You just come back here, Apache 2-v. See, it has already installed this version, right? And here, what are the different values? State values, present, absent, and latest. These are the different values available for your this one. Now, once this machine has started, now how to see whether my Apache 2 web server is running or not? Service, service, Apache 2 and status, correct? See, this is the command that we are using to check whether my Apache 2 web server is running or not, correct? So now I wanted to replicate the same thing. That is, I wanted to stop this server now. Stop this server, or I wanted to start this server, or I wanted to restart this server. How I can do that? Just come back here, same command. Ansible, same. I repeatedly using this dev group because both the machines are available under dev group. If you wanted to do it for only one machine, just provide the node details, just like node 1 or local, something like that. Okay, I wanted to connect to this machine. Then what is the other thing I wanted to do, sir? -b sudo user, then -m. Now, what is the module that I wanted to use? I wanted to use service module. This is the module that we need to use if you wanted to start the server, stop the server, or if you wanted to restart or reload the server. Okay, so then -a, then again name is equal to Apache 2. Okay, state is equal to, I wanted to stop this, sto, stopped, not just stop, stopped. Okay, just execute this. Now come back, execute. See, your machine is inactive now. That means we successfully stopped this machine. What are the different values here? At this position state here, started, not just start, started, stopped, and restarted or reloaded. These are the different values at this position. Sorry, not reloaded, restarted. Restarted. Okay, these are the values for your service state file, not state file, for state. Okay, now if I wanted to start the same server again, what I need to do? Just change the state here, sta are started. Okay, just execute. Now come back and see the service Apache 2 status. See, it is running. Even if you check for other machine also, it will be running. Fine. Now, if I wanted to uninstall this Apache 2 from my machine, Ansible dev -b -m apt uninstall, installing or uninstalling, right? apt-a, what is the name? Name is equal to Apache 2 and state is equal to absent, right? Done. See, now it is going to uninstall this package from your machine. Clear? So, sir, you got the idea what are these ad-hoc commands, how to use it? Anyone? So now, see, what is the task I want you to do now? I want you to list down some 30 to 40 Ansible modules. I want you to list down 40 different Ansible modules. And I want you to list down and I want you to also learn when to use these modules. There are so many modules, you just need to know, you no need to know all the modules. Okay, you just need to know only few of them. There are thousands of modules available. Whenever you want, it is available in the internet, no worries on it, right? But at least you should know 40 modules which you use on a daily basis or on a daily activities to perform some day-to-day activities. You will be using these activities, correct? So now what I want you to do is I wanted to list down all these 40 modules, and tomorrow we'll sit together and we'll list out the modules. If you are missing anything, I'll also add on. I do have a list. I want you to do it, and we'll do it together, listing down of the modules. Okay, so this is the one activity for you, and we'll finish off the ad hoc commands tomorrow. We'll list down all the commands and we'll understand how to use this in other scenarios, like how to create a user using Ansible, how to provide the permission to this user, how to copy the file from your master machine to your slave machine, or how to get a file from your slave machine into your master machine. Okay, so these kind of things that we'll see how to execute this Linux commands into those machines. Some basic activities we'll do so that you'll be having grip over these ad hoc commands whenever you use it. Okay, so tomorrow we'll discuss some more ad hoc commands and we'll list down all these things, and I'll introduce you to playbook way of doing Ansible configuration. How to write this playbook, everything. That file we discussed, right? How to write this file. See, before we're writing this file, if you know this ad hoc way of writing commands, then it's very, very easy, sir. It's very easy, simple thing. Okay, now here you are writing in a single line, but here you will write it in each and everything in a separate line. That's it. For repetitive purpose, for multiple tasks. That is the only difference between ad hoc and playbook way. Okay, so just go back today, configure your machines. If you have any doubts, please let me know. And one more thing, just to before we close, I wanted to tell you this. Why it is not working, sir? See, once you set up your Ansible machine, master machine, this is my master machine and this is my slave machines. Once you set up, you enabled Ansible.cfg file, you provided a host details under host machine, everything is good. If you're still not trying to connect into these machines after doing all these activities, what are the things you need to take care? First thing, check whether SSH is enabled in your slave machines, into your security group. That is the first thing. Second thing, whether the proper PEM key is available. And whether the PEM key is having a correct permission. This is the second thing you need to check. What is the third thing? Okay, so whether you copied this PEM key into the correct path where you copied and the details you defined under host file, both the details are same, the path details. The fourth one, correct entry in the host file, whether the IP address, everything is good. And the last one is you enabled that inventory option in Ansible.cfg file. Okay, you check all these things. If any one of them is missing, then your Ansible host file or configuration file will not work. Okay, yesterday also explained this. I'll add yesterday's videos to today's video. I'll remove some part of yesterday's video and you can watch it after once I upload. I'll upload after some time, like maybe by 11 or 12 today I'll upload. Okay, you just go through that and if you have any doubts, you please ping. Fine. So yeah, I think it is overloaded for you guys today. We'll continue tomorrow. I wanted to continue, but it might get overloaded. So no issues. Fine. So go back, practice. So thank
Sir,
you. Yes, yes, please.
sir, just one doubt. Like in Terraform, we are using when we stop the instance or when we again we are setting up, right? I mean, like Terraform init and like that. I mean, we are exporting the keys and like in Ansible, it is not like that. I mean,
No, no, no. See, in Ansible, once you install your Ansible into one of the master machine, it is
okay.
not required for you to like. What is your proper question? I got it.
I mean the keys like PEM key every time. If you stop the instance or restart the instance, everything will be gone, right? In Terraform, again we need to
That you
init.
were talking about export,
Yes, sir. Export
access key,
keys.
secret key. No, 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 nothing will happen.
Okay, sir.
Nothing. And even you no need to come to this path again.
Okay,
Slash
sir.
etc slash Ansible for
Ansible.
executing whatever the commands we executed, right? It is
Yeah.
not even required for you to come to this path. You can execute from anywhere you want. It is not
Okay.
required. And tomorrow I'll also show you. See, today we discussed about host file, right? This is the default host file under slash etc Ansible. And we can also create our own customized host file, and we can pass during your command execution. This is also we can do. Okay, this we'll see tomorrow. But
Okay,
as
sir.
of now, just do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So that's it. See you tomorrow. Bye.